Hi, everyone. Welcome to Our Disabled Future, a series where disabled voices lead the way. I'm your host, Nico, and it is a good day for disability inclusion. Each day, during Disability Pride Month and beyond, I'm amplifying real disabled stories, where we are, where we want to go, and how the heck we're going to get there. Together, I hope. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Seeley. Let's dive in. Hi, Seeley. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So tell us about yourself and about your disabled life.
Sure. I'm from the US originally and came of age, especially on the West Coast. I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 16 years. Um, and although I had had medicalized experiences since childhood, um, I wasn't quite sure where I landed and was feeling on the periphery, perhaps, of disabled community as a young adult, and then eventually in my early 20s. So this was at the end of the year 2000. I ended up uh, coming to terms and identifying to myself and publicly as disabled, and also happened to come out as trans at the same time. So I have been active associated with community. I would say even a little bit before then. I started living with a full time chair user in 1999, and um, I have been living in Canada for about 8 years now, and I've been active in disabled community both where I'm based locally and with people networked, afar for these years so far. I'm working in especially performing arts, but also I would say design is a strong interest and pursuit. Some of my study and training so far as well. So I would say I'm particularly passionate at this point about interactive, um, like very community engaging performance and multimedia based works uh, that have explicit design toward social change.
Thank you, Silly. I really appreciate that story. So it sounds like you've had positive experiences in disabled communities so far, and I loved hearing how you came to identify with that aspect of yourself. What does a disability-friendly future look like for you?
Uh, Universal basic assets as a program available for everyone, I feel is a fundamental thing that would be showing up in my preferred future. And again, not just for disabled community folks, but the universal provision is important. So, just to clarify, an income allocation, yes, being a key part of that, but I prefer the concept of assets because, allocation of uh, childcare provisions for people who need it, of healthcare, uh, etc. Other essentials for daily life besides the income. This is something that you know has has had great results, worked out well in some other kind of pilot iterations in different locations around the world. So it's very doable. Um, it's just about policy choices. And as well, um, simply a robust practice of being integrated into into our larger communities. Um, the the opportunity to contribute in the ways that we are moved to have those barriers to participation be, you know, minimized as much as possible, and to have you know, our decisions, our space for choice and agency, you know, really uh, centralized and respected, and yeah, just affirmation of our um, the richness of what we bring and how we live in the mix of life with everyone else.
I always love calls for celebrating the disabled community. Thank you, Seeley.
Hmm.
A lot of what you say really resonated with me in terms of disability inclusion and starting with accessibility as a exactly that starting point rather than thinking about it later on, perhaps.
Yep.
Here's a tough question though. How do you think we build that future together? What strategies do we use?
uh, I do think that media campaign choices are quite important. Um, the So representation matters, right? But we need to approach it a bit more specifically than just that broadly is the goal. Um, so representation in media work of disabled personas, characters in fiction, um, at all ages. So obviously, um, you know, outreach toward representation for people at the youth level is very important. So this is, material that needs to show up in the formal education sphere as well. So uh, people working as teachers, as camp counselors, as anybody who is working with groups of the public, again, at whatever age level, um, having uh, like a depth of training and education that they can pass on to whatever age groups they're working with, um, about the again, a complexity of our identities. One-sided representation is not useful, um, and again, uh, building capacity around uh, people's facility in educating really on a peer-to-peer basis, uh, that we're yeah, we among everyone else is we're deserving of recognition of our humanity. That's really it. um I think that some extent of um you know drawing on history of science can be useful. So the I don't have the exact citation with me right now, but there is uh, you know more than one case of like anthropological evidence of like a human being many thousands years ago having a leg fracture and then like evidence that this person uh like had support for kind of binding and helping to sort of um repair the serious leg injury as much as possible. um this is, to dive into what those actual historical examples are is important. I'm not going to describe it the best right now, but there is it's in our historical record, this uh practice of humans um being inclined toward that mutual aid and solidarity. And I think for people who uh get very stuck in these arguments around we don't have time for empathy or whatever like that. Um, yeah, it's important to be circulating stories that are, um, yeah, reflective of, again, there's there's more to there's more to human nature and to our capacity than that. We have incredible capacity to choose uh, to stay in community with people who experience, uh, you know, atypical bodies or body minds, differences in various ways. And I think to really dive into how to amplify, with savvy and nuance as much as possible, our messages that humans are, we have a natural inclination to wish to be in community and to keep ourselves together uh, as peers, as a species altogether. So yeah, we have to lean into that.
Thank you. I would absolutely agree as to the interconnected nature of everyone's life here on Earth. Seeley, you put that beautifully. As we close our time together, I want to give you a chance that you and I, as disabled people, so rarely get, and that is a chance to brag about yourself. You can promote something cool you've done recently or something you still have in progress. If you want to build a following online, where can people find you? You can answer however you want. This is just free space for you to be your own cheerleader. Let's hear it.
Thanks. Um, First, I want to really briefly shout out work of my current flatmate, actually. So people might notice in the video behind me is a great banner that they worked on. It says, "Access is love," and it's a wide fabric banner where the letters or the words are marked out both in different fabrics, and also there's a tactile component where the words are spelled in Braille using buttons stitched on. So just to shout that out, disabled creativity all across the community. For myself, uh, sure, I I'll mention a couple things. Just something historically, I have not been so directly involved for some recent years, but I'm very grateful that I have had the opportunity before to be active with the um, performing and, you know, group decision making collective work of Sins Invalid, which I connected with when I was in the San Francisco Bay Area and was actively, yeah, making work with them from 2007 till early 2015. Um, in my current uh, chapter in life, I'm building out a website, which simply can be reached at questletters.net. Um, it's on the new side, but I have some info there right now about a pretty large scale transmedia project that I'm slowly developing, provisionally called Holo Futurist Outlooks, that involves a radio drama miniseries as well as a robust website hub that can be very interactive for audience to engage around the miniseries content, and with an intention of disabled people to feature prominently in the making of the work and the storyline. So that's one thing coming up. As well, I have a very disability centered other play script project called Modeling. I'll be sharing more work about that on the website too. Um, I'm available for hire for creative consulting. I love dramaturgy, towards other people's projects. Uh, so anyway, I'm not, I've never been comfortable with mainstream social media, but uh, we'll be sharing some more professionally on LinkedIn coming up, and again, sharing some periodic newsletter through questletters.net as well. And yeah, really happy to connect with folks, do emails, do calls. Yeah,
Seeley, thank you. I can include some of those links in the video description when we post this video. All right, folks, tune in next time. Remember, this is our disabled future, and we're building it one day at a time together. Wherever you go and whatever you do, I'm rooting for you, okay? And I can't wait to see what you do next.
thanks,
Bye.
Nico.